preliminary final weekend. Got two massive games to look at, Jim. But I can tell you, Dustin Martin emerged as the big story at the start of this week. A lot of speculation about where he might be going. We can show you tonight exclusively where he headed up to and who he spoke to at GWS.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And, of course, we always have the biggest guests here on the Footy Show. None bigger than the best player in the game, Gary Ablett, in the house tonight. And he will receive the best award in football tonight, so we're looking forward to that. We also cross live to Perth, where we'll be joined by two Sydney Swans superstars, Dan Hannebery and Jude Bolton.
Very much looking forward to that. Yes, please. A lot of news around too, and again, confirmed this week we've got the best newsman in the business. More about that shortly. But a lot of trade movement going on. We'll tell you the latest there, and the coaching landscape. Give you the full dice there.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Gary, I've got no idea what else we're doing. No idea. We've got a gentleman who's going to
7 years we've been doing this, and one day it was going to get you, Jimmy.
Gary,
yes.
There we got a gentleman who's going to tell us exactly who's going to win the Brownlow on Monday night.
Well done.
And he has got the last 10 of them right, so stick around for that.
It might not be the person that you think it is either. And we're going to give you at home the chance to vote on what sort of street talk you want. We've got 4 from the Brownlow medal. You can vote for your favourite. We've got a massive show. Let's get started.
Footy Show. You mean to jump in when that happens, Gary. Now, look, we have got a magnificent panel tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and as smart as we have ever assembled. And I'm going to explain why. Because the first man, I think 98.9 in his leaving exams, but also a superstar, first for the Saints and then for the Collingwood Football Club, a premiership player. Put your hands together for Luke Ball. In the 99s from the Western Bulldogs, now an All-Australian, Will Minson. And that's where that bit ends, because now from the Geelong Football Club, the mayor, Bill Burles. That's it, Bill. Hello, Jim.
Oh, yeah, look at the wig.
Hey.
It's got a wig on.
That is a very smart panel that just tails off towards the end.
It does.
More of that in a moment. Jim, I've got to straighten up here.
Come on.
Last night, the Australian Football Media Association recognised their very best performers, and there's only one award that you want to win on those.
Yeah, you've won it, the Big Alf Brown.
Yes, it's the Brownlow medal of the media. It's for the best performer, and this man has won it once before.
I know.
And I didn't think it was possible to win 2 Alf Brown.
Well, Gary, no one's won 2. I'm talking Mike Sheehan.
No.
I'm talking Alf Brown himself. Didn't even win his own award twice.
He did not. It is a big deal in the world of media. We tell you often that he is the best newsman in the business, and tonight, to acknowledge the performance, we're not going to open with Sam Newman. We're going to open with the winner of the Alf Brown Award for the second time. Please welcome Damien Barrett.
Gary, hello, Sam was at the awards. The Footy Show, he was there. He actually was awarded. He was made a life member and gave a fantastic speech some years ago.
What's all the stuff you got there?
Well, the Footy Show can reveal that a prestigious award was won by someone on this very network here and on this very panel. Just a minute.
What, you got double earphones with?
I have. I've got the boss, Andy. I sat next to Andrew Dimitri. He said he'd be... Just a minute, mate, I'm on air. I'll call you back. He said that a very big award was won, and I can reveal, the Footy Show can reveal that I won it. A couple of press people won awards. For the war cry, won one for doing on Anzac Day or something. But this was the big award which I won, so I'll go over...
Force, I hope you're not taking the piss. This is a very important thing.
Jim, does it look as I'm...
There he is.
Why are both of us here?
Why are both of us?
Why are both of us here?
I
What
think
am I doing here?
You can come and sit down.
Yes.
For a start.
That's pathetic. It was your idea to do that.
Hey, you come and sit down because we're going to introduce the man here off the top because there is a big footy story going around.
Okay.
And you sit down.
Oh, all right.
Take
your hat off.
Earpieces out. And I'm talking about Dustin Martin, of course, a man through his manager who indicated to Richmond that he'd be seeking the opportunity to talk to other clubs through the course of the season, with Richmond having only a couple of weeks ago thought that they had secured him for a further 2 years. So please welcome the winner of the Alf Brown Award, Damien Barrett. Welcome, Damien.
There has been a lot of speculation today about why Dustin Martin was doing in Sydney. Well, we can tell you tonight that he was in Sydney meeting with senior GWS officials at their headquarters there at the Sydney Olympic Park precinct. This is part of that meeting. It's exclusive vision for the Footy Show. We'll show you more of that vision later in the show. We'll bring you more details about that meeting later in the show. We'll have an official comment from a GWS official about that meeting today with Dustin Martin. But clearly, the future of Dustin Martin well and truly up in the air today after a meeting with GWS.
Right, Damo, thank you very much for that. We look forward to hearing much more on that, and also all the big trade news Damo will have, as well as coaches doing what they're doing next year. So he'll be loaded up a little later on.
Good tease, that.
A very good tease. It's time to welcome this panel. And I mentioned they're as smart as we've had. And Luke Ball, as I said, also is still a magnificent footballer for the Maggies. Put your hands together for Lucas. And mate, there's been winds of change swept through the Westpac Centre a little since the end of the season. It was quick and decisive.
Well, it tends to happen every year though, Jim, but I guess when a couple of them are high profile and great servants of the club, it gets a bit more attention than it otherwise would. So, yeah, it's always sad when, as I said, guys who played so much good footy, premiership players for the footy club, move on, but I think they both have said that they want to keep playing, so hopefully they get another chance.
Are you surprised at all, Lukey? Darren Jolly were talking about Alan Didak and Andy Cracker, the other one that was cut a couple of days after your season finished. Any of those three surprised you?
Well, one thing I've probably learnt in the last couple of years, Gaz, is you know not to be surprised too much when it comes to the end of the year. So it doesn't make it any less, as I said, sad for those sort of guys. But again, hopefully they get another chance because they're not old by any stretch of the imagination. So I still think they've both got some good footy left in them.
Off field as well, Jeff Walsh, your footy manager, left before the end of the season. David Butterford, who's your strength and conditioning man, has also gone and headed over to Carlton.
There's some new faces around, weren't they? Yeah, again, no, just the reality of footy that both of those guys had been at the club for long periods of time, and I think anywhere out in the real world, there's not many people that do stay in the same job for 10 or 12 years. So, yeah, again, just the reality of footy.
Your coach flagged it, though, at the final press conference. He said, righto, this is enough. We need to fix what's wrong here.
Yeah.
Was that the sense from within?
I think a couple of those words were probably grabbed by the media and then blown up a little bit. As soon as you say the word culture, all of a sudden people sort of think negative things, but that was just the disappointment of how we'd finished, in particular that last 15 minutes of footy, and that'll leave a sour taste in the mouth for the players as well until day one of next pre-season, which will come around pretty quick.
Oh, some good news. You got new puppies at home. Of course, you've gone out and bought. Here's Juno, your beautiful black lab that has kept you up for the last week, Lukey.
Yeah, Bill, the week after we finished, I said to you, I was sort of in a bit of a malaise. I wasn't really...
Which is a daze, Will.
Thank you. Yeah, I was sort of just lying in bed and pretty miserable. So on the weekend, Ames said, righto, come on, we need to do something here, snap out of it. So we've been thinking about it for a little while, and out we went, and he ended up on Saturday night with a nice 8-week-old black lab pup. So she's very cute.
Juno, which is an interesting name.
I did spend all day cleaning up her wee, Bill. So she's not toilet trained yet, unfortunately.
Just let it go. It's wheeze, all right?
No, it stinks, mate.
Hey, we're always interested in what happens during the off-season. So you've got yourself a puppy, your old teammate, great mate, Nick Revolt.
Yes.
He started to do some dancing here, which we thought was interesting, the way he moved. I'm not sure what you made of this,
Wow,
Lukey.
that's his signature dance move, that one goes. I've seen that one many a time. Usually in a darker room than that, probably at a later hour. So he's a good dancer, and he fancies him. He's got a reasonable voice too, so he wouldn't have had to have been asked twice to do that.
Well, I tell you what, we noticed in here, Force, that they were very similar moves to the ones thrown by our own man, Gary Lyon. If you remember back, let's have a look at some of this action here. It's a real similar styling. Yeah, look, it must be the mark of the Fords.
Look at the crowd involved.
What's on his head?
I don't know what that was. That was shot in the ad break. Hey, and the other great news that we can announce tonight, and there's big announcements all throughout the course of the show. Grand final show next week, the player reviewer highlight, and I can announce Luke Ball is back for a second year next year. No. You're a star, as Bruce Springsteen, and we're looking forward to having you back. You don't need to say anything, so we'll see you next Thursday. Hey, Will Minson's an All-Australian, if you don't mind, for the first time. That is a fantastic honour, mate. You must have been absolutely thrilled when the announcement was made.
Yeah, it was. It was a tremendous accolade to be bestowed upon me, and something I certainly never thought I'd be achieving in my career, so something I'm very proud of.
Well, the second ruckman on this show to be an All-Australian. Of course, the enforcer in... what year was it, Fox?
1969, I'm led to believe. Samuel?
Well done, Wilhelm.
Yeah.
That it was. Were you born then?
No, I certainly was not. No. 1985.
Smoke about it. What?
85.
85 you was. No, I wasn't an All-Australian in 85. Well, it's a great honour. We don't play anyone, but we get together for the annual dinner, and it'll be nice to see you there, mate. Not many of us around. Gaz, what year were you All-Australian?
There were a few of them.
Yeah, no, 89, 90, 93, 94, 95. Bill?
91.
91,
Yeah.
that's good work.
Yeah.
Well done. Lukey?
Yeah, 05. Yeah, I snuck in.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
it's a while ago now.
So that is a great
Tim?
effort.
Yeah, good one, Bill.
Hey, Will,
Thanks,
Luke
Brent.
went out and bought himself a pup in the off-season. We're lucky to have you here tonight because you've got some other stuff going on in your life, your exams and study and all that sort of stuff.
Yep. Yeah. I was just waiting for you to go somewhere.
No, I don't want you to play down our smart.
I will, no. With the footy season now ended, I've sort of got to catch up in the last 6 weeks of uni that I've missed. So, a bit under the pump at the moment, a few assignments due.
What are you studying, Willis?
I'm doing a science degree at Melbourne Uni. That it's taken me 11 years so far to get through, and I've got to the end of next year to complete it. So no holidays this semester for me. I've got to go to uni.
We let him leave early then. Can you get
Yeah,
home?
well, we'll see how it goes. Exhibition buildings, you were studying for an exam there.
Yeah, well, it felt a bit weird. The All-Australian dinner on Monday night was at the exhibition building, and the last time I was there was for a 3-hour maths exam that was the Monday morning after playing a twilight game the night before Collingwood, and I was sitting in the thanks to the crickets. I was sitting in the exam there, and I was cramping. And someone came up to me and said, "You can't sit like that." I said, "No, I'm a bit stiff." I said, "Well, there's a disabled room for you if you need to sit somewhere else." So, yeah, thanks, guys.
And very quickly before I hand over to Bill, Gary Dempsey did he present you were third in the best and fairest at the Western Bulldogs, which is a great effort as well. Did Gary Dempsey present the award?
Yes, he did.
And that had some significance for you.
Yeah, it did from one ruckman to another.
That's right. Are you a fan of yours?
Demps gave me some pretty accurate feedback a few years ago. He kindly mentioned that I marked like a crab, and he was referring to my arm action when I go for the ball, and I tend to cross over at times. So it was feedback I took on board, and if I can mark as well as Gary Dempsey, then I'll be going a long way.
Look at you now, mate. You're an All-Australian.
And
so
you got
exactly right.
And got an essay due tomorrow.
Oh,
You're going to help us out with that, Bill?
Well, what is it?
I've got an Indigenous politics lecture.
No, not that one. What's the other essay you got?
We did a fluid mechanics
That's
assignment.
it.
Yes.
Fluid mechanics, which can be broken into 3 areas, can't it?
That's true.
As simple as this. It's fluid statics, which is when the fluid is static. There's fluid kinematics,
That's correct.
which is when the fluid's in motion. And then there's fluid dynamics, which is the study of the effects of fluid, isn't it?
That's true.
Which I'll explain it in better terms.
Come
That is fluid at rest.
Static.
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 Yeah.
Fluid at rest.
Yeah.
This one is fluid in motion, Garrett.
Oh, yeah. I can finish off, Bill, because this is fluid dynamics.
Well,
this
that's
is
the effect of fluid.
This is the effect of fluid. There you go. intelligent panel, as we said. We've got a very big show. Gary with Dan Hanbury and Jude Bolton to join us. That's coming up on the Footy Show.
Tonight on the Footy Show, in honour of our great mate Lou Richards, we award his prestigious medal.
I couldn't even win it once.
And coincidentally, Sun skipper Gary Ablett will be live in the studio. And straight from winning the Alf,
What the hell's going on?
Damo stumbles back in with some of the sharp stuff that had the AFMA in raptures. Plus, we preview this weekend's 2 blockbuster prelim finals, including across to Jude Bolton and our man Dan Hanbury.
So exciting!
Oh, yes, please. Samuel serves up a best and fairest street talk. And we tell you how to vote for Gaz to recreate this in next week's grand final review. If I could turn back time. Just one more time, Harry Gary. Stay with us.
The champions. The long wait for Crawford over. That's what I'm talking about! And there is the siren. Another classic between the Cats and the Hawks. And Geelong prevails again. Hawthorn in trouble. The alarm bells are sounding. Is that the knockout goal? Geelong are going to do it to them again, you reckon? The siren's gone. The Cats have done it again. The Hawks are coming after the Cats. Siren sounds. Another classic. They've just come to help themselves, these two sides. Geelong prevails. Open goal. Ponty Handley. He's got another one. That's it. The Cats have won another thriller against the Hawks. And the Cats have got the perfect 10 against the Hawks. Kick is on the way. Siren's gone. They've done it again. They've done it again, the Cats. The Cat is still on the bench. Kennett's curse lives on. Kennett's curse has forever cursed the Hawks.
We've beaten Geelong when it mattered.
Welcome back to the Footy Show. And they haven't beaten them since. 11 times Hawthorn and Geelong have played since that 2008 grand final. 11 times the Cats have prevailed. 9 of those games decided by less than 2 goals. It is going to be an extraordinary way to kick off preliminary final weekend on Friday night at the MCG. The Hawks take on the Cats. They got there courtesy of a 54-point belting of Sydney a couple of weeks ago. And what about the ends? Into the side comes Buddy Franklin and Cyril Rioli. Spanger and Anderson are the 2 unlucky players. It is an unbelievable rivalry they got going. This would be their best opportunity ever, but they take on a Geelong team full of confidence. They fell to Port Power by 16 points last Saturday night. They too have made 2 changes. Caddy and Murdoch come in, Paul Chapman out with suspension. Taylor Hunt has been the unlucky player. 5 of those games against Hawthorn since the 2008 grand final have been decided by less than a goal, including 3 by 2 points and 1 by a solitary point. Bill, is this the time for the Hawks?
Oh, the Hawks will be favourites, no doubt about that. They should be. But Geelong has won the last 11. They've also beaten them twice this year.
They have.
And they have got a very good midfield, and that's where they win it, I think, in the midfield. The Cats beat them in the midfield, and their backmen have been very good, as we know, with Lonergan and Harry Taylor. So that's where they've won it over the years. What they have been, but the Cats, they've dropped off a little bit the last couple of weeks and been, Sam, very inaccurate, which you talk about all the time.
Yeah, fuck.
And inaccurate.
Yes. And inaccurate, thanks, Jim.
That's the academy.
Yeah, I know, but they've got to kick straight. They've got to kick. If they can keep with them, Gaz, keep with the Hawks, get around that three-quarter time, the last quarter.
That's it.
Oh, the Hawks.
Belief grows.
Oh, get tight, Gaz, and anything can happen. And the Cats can win. No doubt about that.
Let me go to the All-Australian ruckman here, Will Minson. You know what? You'd have a look at the ruckman because the Cats, it's been an area of great concern for them throughout the course of the year. Their clearance work's been poor.
Yeah, I've got to be careful I don't do myself out of a job here, but you know, traditionally you don't want to be the number one in any statistic, and so the fact that they're not too good at clearance is not a great concern. The Cats are so good in a lot of areas without being a number one in any particular one. So being not that good at clearances won't be too much of a concern, I reckon.
Well,
It'd be nice to win a few, wouldn't it? A few taps.
Well, they've managed to do all right without them. So, I mean...
Well, how convenient. We just showed 3 that they missed just to
Well,
back up the
there weren't
narrative.
too many that they won on that particular day.
Not bad there, on that particular day.
In fact, they're almost last in the competition, Samuel.
For what?
For clearances.
Hit-outs or clearances?
Hit-outs to advantage as well for us.
It's been a massive issue for them all year. All year.
Yep. Yes, there's a difference between hit-outs and clearances.
Yeah, well, ultimately it is dependent on who clears the ball, sure.
Well, that's if the other mob line up and shark a lot of the hit-outs.
Well, what we're saying is that opposition teams have been sharking them all year.
Yes, that might be the case. That doesn't mean to say they're inadequate in the ruck per se.
I would say it does, but I defer to you.
Not at all, Gary. This is just a conversation. You can't be wrong because it's your opinion.
See who they've named as emergency also?
Yes,
the young boy Kirsten.
Oh, yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise you if Chris Gotti wants to play him.
Tommy Hawkins,
You know something, Bill?
day to day.
Yeah, Tom Hawkins might wake up with a bad back or a sore back, and
Only
he's
played
there.
a half last week, you were telling us, Bill.
In the VFL, come off after half time and
Kicked 6, didn't he?
kicked 4.
Okay.
So what do you reckon, Luke? Because you know everything
About what?
about this game.
Well, I want Lukey to tell me about Luke Hodge, who's been unbelievable. And
Yeah, he has.
Back to his 2008 best.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, and look, he's very hard to stop when he's in this sort of form. I think probably the only thing you can do is to make sure that you're playing 6 dangerous forwards at all times, and forwards that he's going to respect and not feel comfortable dropping off like he did against Sydney and most other teams this year. He certainly did it against us, and in the third quarter I can remember alone probably won them the game. So I'm not sure who the player is that he'll go to, but what he tends to do, I think, is go down there and find a guy who he thinks might lead him to the right spots, and then he gets in the way. So you look at that Geelong forward line that came up before, there's 6 pretty dangerous players there, so that's going to be an interesting battle.
Samuel, well, who'd you tip first of all?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Hawthorn. It's only on, not necessarily because they've had the week off. I think that sometimes that's neither here nor there. But I think Enright and Chapman are huge outs.
Wilbur, I don't think I got your tip.
No, I think the Hawks should get up, but the curse is too strong to overcome. So I think the curse will have its way again, and the Cats will find a way.
Yeah, and the Cats.
Couple of comments, Gary.
Yes, please.
If we could just get away from some senseless and pointless umpiring, that is an overabundance of 50-metre penalties. That ridiculous phrase of invading someone's space, whatever that means, and people lying on the ball. Do you think someone lying on a football with 7 people on top of him, do you think that bloke is trying to hug the ball into himself? If we could just have a little bit of sense. And may I ask you a question, speaking about stupidity?
Best umpires this time of year for us, so it'll be well umpired.
That is an
we've got
oxymoron. The best umpires for the year doesn't mean to say they don't make some parlous and senseless...
It'll be a well-umpired game.
No, you can't say that, because most of them are not. Could you tell me the difference, Gary? Yes. I know this is a serious question. The difference between careless and reckless. A la Chapman, who, if you've got to take a theodolite to the football ground to see if he has a toenail on the ground when he makes contact with someone about the shoulder or head region, if you've got to take a theodolite to make... Is that pointless or ridiculous? Because this is a contact game and there was no danger to that man being concussed or anything. And that is... And if you think, Gazman, if you think I'm beholden to Geelong, I'm not, and ask Geelong people...
You're losing the point. You lost the point again.
Have I lost the point? Yeah. What about?
Well, I mean, if you're going to get angry at anyone, get angry at Paul Chapman, as opposed to the umpires or the rules. No. Whether you agree with the rules or not, they are the rules, as demonstrated just 2 weeks earlier when Buddy Franklin was out. And yet Chappie goes and puts himself in exactly the same position and now is suffering the consequences.
Very nicely. My point was that many people say by slowing the vision down that he actually had a foot on the ground at the point of contact. No. If we've got to be that pedantic about it...
Well, it's not pedantic.
All right.
That's the rule.
OK, theodolite notwithstanding. No. Righto, Chapman's not in. I hate to say this. Enright's not in.
Yep.
They've had a week off, the Hawks. Franklin's back, Rioli.
Yes.
I'm afraid to say I've never been more certain, ever, I'm rarely wrong, that Geelong will take them to the cleaners. There is a huge thing to be said from panicking and choking, and the Hawks are a mighty outfit, but they don't have the magnitude to tackle Geelong because they fear defeat rather than looking forward to victory.
Your thoughts, Gary?
Considered, but
What?
it's a very well considered opinion. I think the Cats backline, which one of you boys mentioned, was it you, Lucas? Aren't in as good a form as perhaps you'd think. And you take Enright out of that side,
Yep.
I think Hawthorn are going to kick 110 plus,
thought you were
and
gonna say
I don't
ours.
think Geelong can score as heavily as that, so the Hawks will go.
All right, got all the boys' thoughts. Now, we've seen the final stories. There have been 3 of them made for this particular year. 2 we've already seen, 1980 and 1966. But after we finish tonight, 1989, one of the all-time great grand finals, of course, where the Hawks prevailed by 6 points over a rampaging Cats who kicked 8 goals in the last quarter. That follows us, and I tell you what, you must watch it. It is one of the all-time great grannies and one of the great documentaries about a game of football. And, of course, you were there, Willis.
I was. I had front row seats, and it was a very good game, let me tell you.
I was there too, Bill, actually. Yeah, I was 5. I had my Hawthorn jumper on, so...
And you haven't grown since.
You were there, Foss?
You've been eating all his food.
I was there.
Thanks, mate.
I had one of the great moments of that game was,
Yes.
I hesitate to say this, I was there with Rex Hunt, who was calling the football on AW.
Yep.
And I was there with Ron Barassi, Mr. Football, doing these special comments. And if Rex is watching this, he'll be falling off the couch when I'm going to say this. Rex calls the football, and it went like this. He said, whoever the umpire was, and umpire Darren Goldspink, bang onto the centre knob, and Dermot Brereton has been cleaned up by Mark Yates. Mr. Football, Ron Barassi, special comments. I'm sorry, Rex, I dropped my biro. I was under the chair looking for it. He said, what happened? Rex said, Jesus Christ, Ron, make it up, say anything.
What are you saying? Barras dropped his pen. and was
Ron
under
dropped
the-
he's got his ass up at his head, and Rex said, special comments, Ron Barassi. And Ron said, what? He said, what happened? He said, I'm sorry, Rex, I dropped my pen. Rex said, he should make it up, Ron. There's no pictures here, say anything. But the point had gone.
No, it is one of the great grand finals. There's so many stories and sub-stories about subplots around it. You won't want to miss it. All the big names are interviewed, and Bill was also interviewed for this.
Yes.
As well. So that's coming up after the grand final. Hey, Lukey, before we get to the big part of the show, the Players Association charity.
Yeah, thanks, Gaz. I'll read it so I don't stuff it up. But yeah, Ladder, the official AFL players and AFL charity tackling youth homelessness, has joined forces with a new fundraising platform app called Shout for Good, which you can donate. It's a free app from the App Store. And so this final series, if you get on there and you can shout the price of a footy or anything to Ladder, the selected charity, that'll make a big difference to the homeless kids around Victoria. And you can also win grand final tickets, which, as we know, from now on in, very rare. So a great cause, shoutforgood.com.
Well done to the Players Association. Great work.
All right. Hey, we moved from that very, very serious message to this not quite so serious one. Sam's mailbag.
That's very good music. That shouted from the top. Who sang that?
Paul Weller,
No, he didn't.
Style Council.
Style Council, that's who it
Paul
was.
Weller.
All right, well, the Style Council, I remember it as, Gaz. Chris, yeah. Now, this is from Monty of Melbourne. I didn't know dogs could read. Has Monty written it?
Oh,
Not that one.
he loves his footy.
Not that one.
That'll be June.
Dear Sam, a friend told me you are 80. Is that true?
Not that far away, for.
What do you look forward to most at the end of the footy show year? Well, just at the end of the footy show, I look forward to emptying the colostomy bag. To be honest. After every show, I go straight out to the latrines, Gaz, and empty her out.
No, you don't.
And sometimes I wear a nappy
You
and
do
I can
not.
just sit here.
Come on.
I can actually just sit there and just
No,
urinate.
answer his question.
Now, not receiving, I tell you what I look forward to, not receiving, Monty, any more photos of dogs with eyebrows that stuck on pretending to look like Gary, a la
Here we are.
this,
Nice one.
and this, and this.
There it is.
You know, stupid people just
Funny ones.
trying to make people look like you, which
No
we
more of
love.
them.
'Cause you
they're
get
funny.
so pissed off. That's what makes us laugh, Gary.
That's it, because you're hairy.
And potatoes that look like Bill. This is what I look forward to
There we are.
There's another one, Billy boy.
Oh, good one.
And there we are. And pants or shorts that are meant to look like me. Yes, oh, very good. And that's it for that letter.
Nice one.
Isn't it?
Yeah, Monty.
Yes. Now, Cruz of Belgrave, Cruz, Foss. Did you read in the paper that fish you used to have as a lookalike of John Elliott has just been named the world's ugliest creature? Now, this is the blobfish. Now, we had that a couple of years ago as a lookalike, long time ago. It looked like John Elliott. It was a remarkable resemblance. Here's even an uglier creature. This is...
Depoos.
Oh, no.
Depoos. Good boy. Depoos. Depoos. Good boy.
Look at Will over there enjoying it.
Yeah, look at
What do you reckon of that, Will?
Yeah, terrific. Yeah. There's less makeup on that than there is on Sam.
Read the sheet, Will. Read the sheet.
And now the parrot does poo on me.
No, you fool.
Good boy.
Let me just show you how that was meant to go.
No,
Bill.
don't worry, just push
I
on.
say, there's the parrot, and you're meant to say, Sam, that's funnier every time we see it. I said, not funnier than this, Bill, and then the parrot shits on you.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's it,
That's
Bill.
it. Yeah.
That's it.
And,
Champagne.
Hang on.
and here's an angry cat doing an impersonation of BT.
So, the famous bells and whistle.
That's it.
Careful, Brian. Careful.
Look at him.
Now, this letter I agree with. This had nothing to do with me, and I agree with this. From Heather of Pascoe Vale. Mr. Newman, last week was just disgusting. Where in God's name do you blokes draw the line?
Yeah.
Well, this was because we had hundreds, thousands of letters of Nathan
Yes, that was shocking.
Buckley
Shocking.
Yep, in the box.
pretending.
No, we know why. You don't have to back
Well,
up.
we won't show. We won't
No,
show.
we're
it
not
again.
showing it
All right,
again.
we won't show.
We
get more
might
letters.
show it
No,
again.
well, Nathan.
Busted. But no, the coach didn't like it.
Coach didn't
Not
like
happy.
No, mate, we didn't like it, and I said, that is disgusting.
Did you?
And he's just sitting there going like,
No, we know what it
Oh, well, I was just in case for... And now, this is an experiment, Gary. Where do we draw the line?
Yeah, we draw it at that.
And only if I cross the line, I want you to go to an ad break or the address or something. So you be the monitor.
Oh.
Do you think this is going... Here's a man buying a hamburger in his underpants.
Oh, no.
Now, that's all right? Is that okay?
No, that's all right. That's all right.
What about showing this man in his undies?
Elvis.
Now, contrary to
Shut up, dickhead.
contrary to popular opinion, that's not Mr. Ed about to speak into the microphone. That is... what about this funeral parlour? Do you think this is a bit off? Am I gone? Am I gone funeral home?
No, that would be all
No,
right.
that's
all right.
All right.
Play on words.
What about... Now, this is a comic book cover from the 60s. This is Rifleman. Now... That's a young lad just loading Rifleman's gun. just handling his piece.
No, well, that depends how you look at it.
That- well,
He wasn't
mate,
handling
that-
his piece.
He was handling his...
He was holding a log of wood.
Yeah, Woody.
That was
Show us
his-
again.
No, he
That's
wasn't.
close to the line.
All right, well, what about... Yeah, that's right for me. What about this rabbit at a birthday party making balloon sculptures?
Oh, no. Oh, come on, Force.
You want to be involved in Sam's Mailbag? Melbourne, Victoria, 2001. Sam's Mailbag at 9.com.au, footyshow.com.au.
Oh, beautifully handled, Gary. Got in just at the right time. We're going to take a break because Gary Ablett, the best footballer in the game, is going to join us next on the Footy. Thanks very much to Nish Navarra, Home Timber and Hardware, and sportsbet.com.au, who have been fantastic in 2013. Great friends of ours at the Footy Show. Now, before we get Gary Ablett out here, just need to very quickly talk about some of the great moments of the Footy Show, because we're not allowed in to do street talk at the Brownlow Medal anymore for a variety of reasons. They filthied up a touch, Willis,
Yes.
and wouldn't let us in anymore.
Only because of the bloke sitting next to you.
But it has provided us with some of the great moments. And what you can do now through the Jump In poll is vote for your favourite ever Brownlow Street Talk for us to show later on tonight. First one is the 2000 Brownlow Street Talk, hosted by the Enforcer.
You are escorting me out. For what reason?
They brought me from home and said, can you come and take Sam home?
You must have a small mortadella in the jodhpurs at this stage, Gary.
So there he is, our man, in rollicking form. So you can vote for 2000 or 2004.
Well, now you're going on Saturday. You wouldn't miss that
I'm
for
not
quid.
going on Saturday. I'm going to Thailand to drink piss.
Or 2005.
Do you know how Lingy got his nickname, the pig? I don't know how. Because when he sweats it up, he looks like a big, fat pig.
So there you go, 2000, 2004, or my favourite, 2005. And you were looking smoother as the years drifted on there, Force.
And can I say, we weren't not allowed to do street talk at the Brownlow because of me.
Right.
We would do it because everyone else and their dog tried to cut our lunch by turning up and being even sillier than we were. So they said, no, that's it.
Well, I think you had a fair bit to do with it. Perfectly honest. Hey, it is award season, of course, and there's a lot of awards around at the moment, but probably behind the Brownlow, the Lou Richards Medal would be the most prestigious of all. Massive prize associated with it, voted on by the Sunday Footy Show panel of Lordo, Nath Brown, Bill and Croft. And we can announce the top 5 place getters this year, and we'll count them down from 5th. And it was Joel Selwood, the skipper of the Cats, came 5th, 81 votes. 4th position was Travis Boat from Port Adelaide on 84. 3rd was Luke Hodge, the Hawthorn skipper. The runner-up in the Lou Richards Medal was Kieran Jack from the Sydney Swans. So very, very good names there. And
Look how close they are.
Thank you, Bill. No, great surprise. The winner of the 2013 Lou Richards Medal on 92 votes is Gary Ablett from the Gold Coast Footy Club, and he joins us tonight. The little champ. Have a look at him. Just as he's doing the rounds, let me tell you, 7 times he's been an All-Australian, 7 in a row. 5 times the most valuable player is voted on by his peers. 5 best and fairest, a dual premiership player, Brownlow medalist in 2009, and this year's Lou Richards Medal winner. Welcome, Gazza.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's been another unbelievable season for your good self. How many awards have you won off the top of your head, you know?
Couldn't tell you, Gary.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gaz, as Gary Lyon just said, you'll win plenty because you're a superstar, but very few will be as important as this one because, the Sunday Footy Show is an unbelievably powerful vehicle, but secondly, the man this medal's named after is an absolute superstar of the game, and here is the great Lou Richards with a message for you, Gazza.
Well, congratulations to Gary Ablett Jr. winning the Lou Richards Medal for the 3rd time. That's a tremendous effort. I couldn't even win it myself. That's my medal, but it is a tremendous effort to win it. Any medal like that 3 times, but to win a medal, but to win it 3 times is a tremendous effort. And of course, he's a very good player. We all know that. He doesn't need me to tell you how good a player he is.
He's an absolute star. You can do the presentation, hand over the medal and
Let's
Gazza.
get the medal for a start. So there's the silverware, which you can add to the two you already have. And also, not that you maybe need this as much, but there's a Northern
That is Gazza from Carry Boy. So Carry Boy are in the audience here tonight. Now Carry Boy have been on the Sunday Footy Show. They sponsor us all year, and they are the global leaders in ute canopies and accessories. So all the ute canopies and all that, ute canopies and accessories.
Accessories.
Yes. So that is Carry Boy, and then the audience. So well done to Carry Boy. Well done to Carry Boy.
Gazza, you've been asked every question in footy. I'll ask the most obvious of all. Where have you rated the year? And let's get this one out of the road. You've won a Brownlow and all those great accolades that I've read out. At the start, certainly at the halfway mark of the year, it was career best, and that's saying something.
Yeah, look, I think it's always hard to compare years. You know, there's no doubt we've had a better season as a team. You know, we've won 8 games. You know, we took a huge step forward this year, and I think it's always easy to play well as an individual when your teammates are playing well. So, you know, I have to thank my teammates for this, because without those boys, you know, I wouldn't be up here accepting this award.
What was the rate of improvement for them? We know in games won, you had 3 in the first year, 8 this year. I mean, how did you see it, and where can they get to?
Yeah, look, I just think it's the experience. You know, the more training sessions, the more games they play, the better they're going to get. You know, we've got a very talented list. You know, I know that, but you know, I've told these boys that talent doesn't win you premierships. It takes hard work, and they're just starting to understand now what it takes. You know, to play consistent football at this level, and you know, we're just going to make sure that we just keep moving forward as a club.
Well, Gaz, the first thing you've done is turn Metricon into a fortress. I know Lukey Ball and Big Wilbur over there. No one wants to go there at the moment and take on the Gold Coast Suns. You play the ground beautifully, the conditions are unique, and you're starting to become really hard to beat at home.
Yeah, we've talked about that. You know, we want Metricon to be a place where, you know, teams don't want to travel. You know, where it, you know, it is tough for them, and our supporters have been fantastic this year. You know, we signed up close to 15,000 members. You know, they get along there every week, and you know, I'm hoping, you know, as the years roll on and we get more, AFL gets more exposure up there, that people jump on board, and because there's no doubt, you know, we're going to be able to do special things in the future.
Now, over the journey, Gary, we show plenty of tweets that players tweet out to the public. This is one that you've tweeted. It's about, to the players, about religion and scriptures and following a path of righteousness, if you like, I presume. I don't feel embarrassed asking this because I'm a believer myself. I'm just wondering, when did you decide that was a path you'd go down, and what important role does that play in your preparation to play this game and with the rest of your teammates?
It's very important to me. It's everything to me. My faith, and you know, without God, I you know, couldn't do the things I do. You know, He gives me that opportunity, and yeah, it's something we do before every game. We get in there, the boys come in, we have a bit of a prayer session, and we get out there and enjoy our footy.
Well, I'm glad you said, because I didn't know if it was apocryphal or not, but it was said that you got together with the players and read scriptures, or you is there any particular book of a verse that you follow, or is it just a general bonding?
Bible.
No, but any particular chapter in it?
It changes from week to week. You know, we have a life group during the week. You know, where we all get together, and you know, it's a place where the boys can come along, and we just we talk about issues in our life that we're struggling with, and yeah, that's basically what it is. We pick up the Bible, we read the Bible, we pray, and
I think it's a fantastic thing, and I know your father found some comfort in that part of it. Does he ever join you, or does he be part of it, or do you ever chat to him about it? Or?
I mean, we chat about it every now and then. You know, but my dad actually did spend a month up in Queensland towards the end of the year, so he come along to a couple of the life group sessions. It was good to have him up there, but yeah, I don't know. Don't know where you're trying to go with it.
No, because you're here, people. It's good to have someone say, "Is this right or not?" And I think it's a fantastic thing that you use that for whatever reason you do, mate. And I'm genuine in that.
Thanks, mate. Why don't you come along, Sammy?
Commend Sammy for bringing it up.
I'm a believer myself, mate. I don't quite go as far as that. I suppose that's the easy way out to say that, you know. But I'm a believer. So I'm not. This is not a loaded question. I'm not.
No,
you're right. We appreciate
I'm just
that.
asking you.
And just one more. When you say the group, it's not the whole team. Is it just a number of players?
No, well, anyone's welcome to come along. It's just a lot.
It's a pre-game, I mean.
Yeah, pre-game. We've got the chaplain at the club. Oh, yeah, anyone's welcome to come along. Right. Yeah, we've got the chaplain that comes in with us. You know, we spend some time with the boys, and it's open to anyone that wants to come in.
No, it's great, and I commend you for speaking openly and honestly about it. And please don't take us any other way than it was a genuine question from Sammy there. What about the finals now? You sit back, you've been involved, your former team playing, of course, tomorrow night. You're going to go along, eh? And what do you feel like when you sit in the stand and you're watching this great team continue to do great things?
I am going to head along tomorrow night and watch the game. I do find it hard to watch. You know, I've always been a very competitive person, and you know, we obviously play football to play finals and play in premierships. So it will be hard to watch. I'm really hoping that the Geelong boys can get up tomorrow night, but I think it's going to be very tough against the Dolphins.
Go on, mate. After you.
No, you're bigger.
Fight over.
Stronger.
Right, after you know, some serious questions like that, I've got one for you. Raw broccoli. I've heard that you don't mind eating raw produce. Sam talks about a believer in faith. I'm a believer in raw produce. Can you shed some light on your diet to some extent?
That is true. I follow the paleo diet, which is what our ancestors, you know, used to eat. It's not, you know, a lot of the processed foods we eat these days. So that is true. I do cop a bit of stick from the boys when I'm sitting on the plane when we're travelling on an interstate trip, and I've got the raw broccoli and I'm eating that. But I've been following that diet for a while. A few of the other boys are on it as well. And
what's it called, Gazza? Because there's about 300,000 footy players out there just about to launch into it.
It's called the paleo diet.
Rightio.
Do you believe in frothies?
It's definitely not part of the paleo diet.
Do you have a drink? Do you still have a drink in that
I
case?
do, mate. I have a red wine every now and then, yes.
Yeah, if it's raw, if it's organic, it doesn't matter if it's got alcohol. It's totally all right. You can fit anything into a paleo diet.
That's all right.
Is that part of the fluid mechanics part of it, mate?
Yeah, well, it's pleasing to hear, because now I can get some of my teammates to say, well, don't worry, don't do it because I do it because Gary Ablett Jr. does it. So that's got much more merit to it.
Guys, we all love watching Jago Mara this year. You know, he's had a lot of accolades. Give us a quick word on Jack Martin. The word coming out is that he had a better year than Jago in the lower level league this year, without sort of trying to put too much of a moz on him. Just give us a bit of a
super player, mate. There was you know, a lot of talk from our coaches before we actually picked him up. You know, that they were saying that he's the best kid they've seen come through the system. You know, I got to watch him play in the reserves a bit last year, and you know, there's no doubt he's going to be a super player for us, you know, come next year, and I can't wait to have him out there playing. Yeah,
just before, Sammy, that's a scary proposition. Jago Mira was described by Tim Watson as possibly the best midfielder to come along, and maybe of all time. So you rate him at a par or even above?
No, I do without a doubt. And the thing about Jago is, you know, he's got a really good head on his shoulders. He works hard, he listens, and you know, he's obviously got that natural ability as well. So, you know, he will come out. You know, it will take time because he's a young kid, but you know, I think over the next couple of years he'll learn a lot, and no doubt he'll have a great future ahead of him.
Now, I know this is an obvious question, Gary, but you were voted by your peers as the #1 player in the comp. You've won the Brownlow medal. Do you feel, and I've got a reason for asking this because I went to Sportsbet, Gary, and I backed this man to win the Brownlow, so I want to know, do you think you've got a better chance this year than any other year, or as good, or you must have some measure on? And don't say, I know there's a lot of good players and they've all played great games. Do you think the year that you won the Brown, do you think that this has been equally as good, if not better?
I feel like I've had a consistent year. So whatever happens, happens. I can't.
I know that. No, I'm not.
I can't control the rest, Sammy. So I'm going to go along, enjoy the night. If I walk away with it, bonus. If I don't, then
bonus for
I'll
me
move
if you
on
do.
Gaz, are you going to wander down to Soho Workshop? What are we going to see? Because that's important too.
I've just realised I'm wearing the same shirt as you, Gaz.
Well, that's a good taste. But you'll look after you. And then your new girlfriend, Jordan, she'd come along with you?
Yes, Jordan's going to be coming along.
Yep.
Maybe first Brownlow. She's a little bit nervous, but
Holy mackerel.
she's excited at the same time. So
It's
should be a fun
exciting,
night.
mate. It is exciting for you. It's exciting for the Gold Coast Footy Club. Yes?
No.
You're on fire.
No, I'm just saying, what a unique and refreshing role model in this society when things go a little awry. And if the AFL pointed at anyone, look no further than this man.
Couldn't have said it any better. Gary Ablett, thanks for coming on, mate. Congratulations on a fantastic year.
Oh, he's a superstar. Looked like he borrowed Gibbo's glasses at the end there too. The clear lens ones. He's smoking at the minute.
Doing a few lunches too, Gaz.
Yeah,
I
I
see
know.
you around the
Just
traps.
around town. He's
Learn from you, Billy.
getting right around. We love it.
Is he? What?
We're going to get to a break. When we come back, we've got plenty, including Damien Barrett, who is loaded up with all the latest news. Stick around.
Oh boy, we're just 1 week away from the grand final footy show spectacular at Rod Laner Arena. It promises to be must-see TV. And is it any wonder with a lineup like this? Jimmy Boy headlined the show as a man who has rocked the Aussie music scene for the last 20 years. Former Powderfinger frontman Bernard Fanning will have the joint jumping with two smash hits.
Also taking centre stage, Birds of Tokyo perform their #1 single Lanterns. And 90s supergroup UMI will raise the roof. Special one-off performance of their biggest hits. Timmy Rogers there. And news just to hand, we can confirm that Sam will not be performing anything from his latest CD, which is great news for everyone.
Oh, that is good news. What will be happening is a sportsbet.com.au grand final review. So big this year, it needs its own sponsor. Despite injury, David Roden will be there, along with groups from Richmond, Carlton, Collingwood, Adelaide, and plenty more. Promises to be the highlight of the night. Luke Ball confirmed tonight.
Lucky Ball.
Plus, the very best after Campbell Brown does his stuff, the very best of this year's Street Talk and Footy Legends and plenty more. Still to come. It's going to be huge.
Oh, I'll tell you what, 14,000 in the house now. As we have mentioned to you before, tickets sold out. You cannot get them for love nor money, and don't worry, Willis has tried black market style. However, thanks to Nissan Navara, you and 7 mates could win the best seats in the house in the VIP Nissan Navara power seats. All you got to do is visit, there it is, facebook.com/Nissan Navara Oz, and tell us, 25 words or less, what's the most powerful thing you have ever done? It can be on and off the footy field, Gary.
Yeah, the competition closes at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on the 20th of September. So get in quick. All thanks to Nissan Navara, Australia's most powerful trading.
And of course, Gary, you said it 1 week ago, the grand final footy show, and you can vote for your favourite act over the journey, and we will reenact it, of course. And the first one we're going to have a look at, you can vote for this one, Jimmy Boy as Grease Lightning. Have a look at that. Very happy with himself.
That is in front at the moment, we are told.
No doubt. Jimmy Boy doing Grease. Wait for this. Oh, what happened to
No, we got away just in time there. Also, you can vote for one of our favourites of all time, the Locomotion, Kylie Minogue. Just looking, got a few Ks on the clock. Here she is. Not a lot of tread left on those tyres, Big Wilbur. Anyway, you can...
That's in third position. In second position, of course, is Big Bill doing his best Meatloaf impersonation.
There it is.
Have a look at him. He was up for the night. He missed his cue at the start.
No, I didn't.
He
No
lost
one knows
after the
it.
first part of the show. So, Bill, voting powerfully. Footyshow.com.au.
But Sam, there are those
Just read
three,
it, Jim.
and then there are Daylight. When we come to this, our favourite ever moment
Black
in the
Caviar.
review. It is Black Caviar, undefeated after 21 starts.
Yes.
Have a look at the big cannon. Look at the big gun. There he is.
And you might have seen in the tissues just an announcement that you might have seen this headline, Sure won't perform. This was... could we assure you? Could we assure you? Sure, a.k.a. Gazza, he will be performing. Don't worry about who you...
Don't worry about those votes.
Spoke not who you like, but he'll be doing it.
That's not true at all. Footyshow.com.au. It's
Gary.
very, very close at the moment.
Look at the way you were straddling the big cannon there. You just looked at home.
He loved it.
It's been a late push for Meatloaf. Rightio. We had a bit of fun off the top of the show when we did announce that our man Damien Barrett was feted last night at the Media Awards.
Three of them.
He won 3 awards on the night. He did indeed, including the big one, the Brownlow Medal for the media.
Yes.
And you hear other people in the business introduce their newsmen
That's
on their
it.
show. Or
Their
whatever.
best ones.
And I've often heard them described as the best in the business.
What?
Farcical job.
How?
There is only one 2-time Alf Brown medalist.
Ever.
And I speak of our man, the purple-headed warrior, Damien Barrett. Damo, I know you get a little bit embarrassed with this sort of stuff, but we celebrate our superstars in this industry, and it is worthy of a man of your news-breaking ability. So well done. We won't make any more fuss about it.
No, I think we'll make a lot more fuss.
We will. And tell you what, you had a big night, Damo. Didn't you, last
that
night?
big, Bill.
I think you did. Have a look at this tail. Oh, Damo.
Took up smoking bill on the night. Put the Christmas tree up.
That's how happy you were.
All right, well, you're here now and you're still in ripping form because, as we said off the top of the show, Damien Martin's future has been front and square. Dustin. Dustin Martin's future has been front and square since an announcement early in the week. He jumped on a plane today, Damo. The whole footy world wanted to know where he was heading. You're going to tell us.
He went to Sydney, Gaz, as we did know, and we did confirm, as you say, off the top of the show, that he met with GWS officials. He left Melbourne Airport early this morning with his manager, Ralph Carr, and he declined to speak with us when we caught up with him there at Melbourne Airport very early this morning. Ralph Carr said he was heading to Sydney to speak with his father, and no doubt he has done that while he's there. But upon arrival in Sydney, again, didn't want to speak to the Footy show, but about an hour later, rolled up at the GWS headquarters in the Sydney Olympic Park precinct. That's in the blue shirt there is Stephen Silvani, the list manager of GWS. In the white T-shirt there is Gubby Allen, the basically head of football of GWS, and he had a pretty long tour of the facilities which are being redeveloped to the tune of millions of dollars.
Is this the new GWS facility here?
These are the new facilities. You can see Leon Cameron there too, Gaz, just part of the, I suppose, party. And Dave Matthews there in the shirt and tie, just taking Dustin and his manager, Ralph Carr, through the facilities which will be ready for the 2014 season. And look, we've known that for some time.
So no speculation, Damo. I guess that's the bottom line with the shots there. No speculation whether he might have been up there, who he might have been talking to. That was Dave Matthews, the CEO. Gabby Allen, the man that helped put it together. Your man.
Snug Bozo.
No, you said that.
He's the man that said they'll win a this is 2 years ago, win a premiership within 3 years.
They've got some work to do. Stephen Silvani, the list manager and recruiting. So they wheeled out the big heavy hitters.
Yeah, they did. And the meeting went, from what we can gather, about an hour. The club claimed that there is no offer to him. We'll hear from Stephen Silvani in a moment. But the club itself, GWS, did flag with Richmond's its intentions to speak to Dustin Martin. So it's above board, given that Richmond itself put out the statement last week that Dustin is able to go and look at other options.
What's your gut feel?
Gut feel is he can't go back to Richmond in any way, shape or form, given the standoff. I mean, they were so close, within centimetres of actually re-signing him before the finals, and then something blew up, and now...
Do you like what they did, Richmond? They effectively called his bluff, took the offer off the table?
Yeah, I do, because it was very close to being done, and they just felt, and they basically said, we can move on without you. I don't know, well, they're not sure he can move on without them. But Mitch Cleary was in Sydney today, and he was part of the footage there of that exclusive footage of the meeting with GWS, and he caught up with Stephen Silvani, the list manager, just to put a few questions to him about that meeting with Dustin Martin.
Oh, look, Dustin was up here today to visit his father, and we took the opportunity to show him around our facilities and have a bit of a chat to him. Look, it was just a chat. Obviously, his manager, Ralph Carr, said that he'd like to look at some opportunities, and, we felt that we'd be neglectful not speaking to Dustin and his manager. There's obviously a decision that Dustin has to make, but we've certainly got to go back amongst ourselves to discuss certain options that we sort of have with other players we're dealing with.
Is there an offer on the table at the moment?
No, there's no offer there.
Do you have a time frame as to when that offer will come?
No.
There's been so much said about Dustin's character. Do you feel there's been a problem since day one at the Richmond Footy Club, more resources? Do you feel you've got the structures in place to deal with Dustin's character off field?
I think you're out of line there. Oh, look, I don't see there's, we've obviously done some due diligence, but, we're happy where things are at the moment, and we'll continue to work through certain things, but, we've got to do our homework, and we feel Dustin's a good person.
Stephen Silvani there being asked by Mitch Cleary. It's a very relevant question. It's very much at the heart of where Dustin Martin could end up by way of footy future. Paul Roos, we know that he's busy out there searching for a 2IC. We know he spoke with Scott Burns, who's a senior assistant at West Coast, about that 2IC role. Gaz, that's going to be the succession role. You can add his name officially now to that list. He's also raiding or attempting to raid other clubs of assistant coaches, and it's actually causing a lot of angst amongst other clubs. We know that the clubs, all 17 of them, are really angry that this club, Melbourne, has put in the request for the priority pick. That is a really serious problem for the other clubs. Given there's AFL money to the tune of $2.7 million going into this football club, Gaz, and of that money, $400,000 is able to be allocated to Paul Roos himself. Roos and others at Melbourne are going into other clubs. We know they've approached Brendan Lade, who's an assistant coach at Richmond, Jared Moore at North Melbourne, JB. We know that George Stone at the Sydney Swans is a person of interest to Paul Roos. And Ben Matthews, a man he coached once at the Sydney Swans and now working at Gold Coast, has been offered a 3-year contract. And each year of that contract is effectively double the money that he was on at Gold Coast. He will be taking that role. So a fair bit of watch this space stuff happening there with what happens there.
So the angst is around the inflationary pressures that they put on.
And given that it's AFL money, football money, that is being able to be used to actually attract these people. I mean, you can't knock them for doing it, but it is causing problems.
I don't think they're too worried about it.
No, they're not. Greg Swan, Gaz, we told you last week that Essendon Footy Club had launched legal action against him for using the cheat word over what happened to them this year. Well, the response is very simple. It came during the week, and it was very simple. It was, we decline your invitation to apologise. And you can take that as code for just please go away, leave us alone and go and sort yourself out. Sam, just on the Essendon investigation, Jacqueline Magnay, a very respected journalist at the Australian today, flagged the likelihood that ASADA would launch action against coaches and officials. We know the club has denied this, and we've received a call only 20 minutes ago from someone who is well connected to this, saying that players would be protected, but WADA will be the ultimate determinant on this.
All right. Yes.
The Brown.
How quickly?
Yeah.
What?
How
This
quickly?
is the final thing I'm going to say. No, hang on. Just the final thing. This is nothing that's very... And now, I had a stance on this, as you might well know, and it's looking more and more reasonable as this goes on. And just when you thought it was over, ASADA has reared its ugly head again. The AFL should get down on their knees with a debt of gratitude to Essendon for Essendon accepting the penalties that they gave in good faith, and suddenly the rough justice has come up with ASADA. I'm pleading with the AFL to disassociate yourself and cut your ties with ASADA. They're a useless, pathetic organisation, and they stand for nothing.
Okay. Hey, Monday night, the Brownlow Medal. We've had Gary Ablett in here, a red-hot favourite.
Yep.
There's a man who has bookies all over town shaking in their boots at this time of the year.
Yeah, the man you referred to is a man who took $1 million out of bookmakers' coffers in 2010 when he predicted Chris Judd to win. He also predicted last year's Quinella of Watson and Cochin and pulled out about a quarter of $1 million.
Mate. Get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it because he's chosen a surprise candidate to win this year's Brownlow over the favourite. Here's Sean Brady, the man who does put fear into bookmakers.
As most viewers would be thinking, Gary Ablett is the man. I feel that Gary will be right up there, but I do feel Sam Mitchell from Hawthorn can knock Gary over this year. He's come off 30 votes the year that Dane Swan won 2 years ago, 26 votes last year, and the umpires clearly see him as a polling type. They certainly don't miss him when he plays well. Hawthorn have had 19 wins this year, and he's just had a great Brownlow year, in my opinion.
All right, there he is. He's a man Well worth listening to. So Sam Mitchell, sportsbet.com.au have given us some money. We're going to have a bet later for charity.
And he said only 5 people can win it. And I love Sean because he puts it on the line every year. He
Who
said
are
the 5 are Mitchell, Ablett, Swan and Pendlebury from Collingwood and Selwood. But outside the 5, only those 5 can win in his estimation. He puts 20 hours of this a week into this throughout the course of the season.
He's on the money, Samuel. He is
Can I get the money back?
No, you can't. Sorry. I'm going to let you have a bet later. Quickly, Daisy
just
Thomas.
on odds, yeah. Look, a guy very senior at close to the Carlton situation today said that Daisy Thomas was a $1.30 chance to leave Collingwood and join them. The same person also said that Eddie Betts was gaining more likelihood to go to play at Adelaide next year, guys.
Best in the business, and that's why Damien Barrett, thanks for joining us. The number 1 man, the 2-time Elf Round medal winner. We're going to take a break. Plenty more still to come on the Footy Show.
Still to come on the Footy Show, Big Wilbur takes care of almost footy legends. You'll make it work, Willis. Some champagne enforcelator in the form of a classic Brownlow street talk.
Turn it up, darling. Time you finish with me, you'd think a flock of blackbirds had flown out your bum.
And we reveal our tips on who'll take home Charlie. But next, we fire up the link to chat to 2 Sydney Swans superstars. Righto, that's enough. Welcome back to the Footy Show. We welcome our James Bogues Draft Team of the Week here in the audience tonight. We have the Helen Footy Club and the Sandown Footy Club. Well done to you guys and welcome. Again this year, James Bogues Draft donating $1,000 to each of our panellists' local footy club, and that is a great thing. Now, it is time, Willis, for Almost Football Legends.
Straight into it, Jimmy boy. Let's have a look at this one here from Paran v St Bernard's. Have a look at the smother on the mark. Oh, Dopey can't chase it. And a nice smother there. Good work. Well done. Lukey ball.
Number 2, these are around the wrong way, so I'm going to wait for it to come up. Who's this? Dampier versus Wickham. You see, big specky from Stas, it says here. Might be related to Craig Stas, a Collingwood premiership player.
That's a good grab. And have a look at this one. The big full forward, right? He's a big boy here. This is a full back little James Brayshaw type. And but have a look at the replay here. Which one did you like, Lukey?
It's got to be him, doesn't it?
Yeah, anyone like 1? Anyone like 2? 3? Congratulations to Nick.
Thanks to James Bogues Draft, our weekly winner takes home $1,000 cash, while our runners-up receive $500 each. Sponsoring over 150 local clubs, James Bogues Draft is a proud supporter of grassroots footy. At the end of the year, our runner-up pockets $20,000 cash thanks to Deep Heat, providing fast, temporary relief from muscle aches and strains. Deep Heat is the stuff of legends. Thanks to our great friends at Home Timber and Hardware, our major prize winner takes home a mega toolbox full of $40,000 cash. That's going to come in handy for that renovation you always wanted. So if you want to do it right, go where the tradies go, Home Timber and Hardware.
The best prizes in the business. There's no more footy legends, so you at home can decide the winner here. All you have to do is go to footyshow.com.au, footyshow.com.au right there, and you decide who the winner is this year. Do it now.
All right, well done, Wilbur. We need to get stuck into this next game, the prelim final, Saturday night, Patterson Stadium, the old Subi Oval in Perth. The purple haze has taken over the West, and the reigning premier, the Sydney Swans, have headed over there to take them on Saturday night. Let's speak to a couple of premiership-winning superstars from the Sydney Swans. Dan Hannabury's on a link, as is Jude Bolton. Welcome, boys. Hey, Jude, I might start with you because Dan Hannabury's a young superstar, got plenty of years left, but for this is your last year. So how are we feeling as we go into this prelim final, Jude Bolton?
Yeah, I guess, this is my 5th prelim. It's just really exciting to be out there, and it's going to be a pretty tough task against the Dockers this weekend.
The most finals ever for a Sydney Swans player, Jude. This will be your 26th final this year. Is it more exciting? Do you get more daunted? We know you're a very intense young man, and we love the way you prepare. How does it feel coming into your 26th final?
Yeah, always pretty intense, I guess, Gaz, but I don't know, just... We boys trained really well today, and then just had a bit of a run around. Just get over here early. We know the drill over here over in Perth, but hopefully get the result we want.
Yeah, so you are very intense. You're very Indian-like. 2 tenths. But we saw it last week.
Oh, no.
We saw it last week. Here you are here. I know you can't see it. But this is last week. Intensity there. But what we want to see, Jude, is more of this one from last year. Have a look at him here. If he's circled. Look at me. Come on. Yes, horse. Yes, horse. I'll be out there. I'll be doing it. Don't worry about that. Let me at him. Just look at him. Oh, he's ready to go. Judy boy, we love that.
I think we're about 30 points up as well. I think I just had an ordinary quarter the one before, so I was a bit pumped up.
Well, Dan, we might ask you about Jude's intensity, because it's our understanding that within the playing group at Sydney, it's often discussed.
Yeah, that's right. He's a very intense character, Bolts. He's obviously fallen with his footy, and he's a little bit more relaxed off the training track. But when it's time to train and play, he's firing the boys up and slapping them up across the head. So a few times, a few of the boys have to tell him to calm down and just take a deep breath and relax a bit.
You've won 4 in a row over there, so heading over to Perth shouldn't cause too many issues. You get there nice and early, which I like, and you have a couple of days to settle in. What's it been like? I mean, I'd imagine it is a massive story over there, the Fremantle Footy Club. You've been well received?
Yeah, well, I suppose it's good to go very early and have a good session. And I suppose all the shows at the moment on the TV are about Free being in a home prelim and us sort of, I suppose, not being much chance. But we view ourselves as a strong chance if we bring our best footy, and it's going to go right down to the wire. I think it's going to be a hot game, and all the boys just can't wait to get out there and give it their best shot.
Now, either one of you lads, you've obviously researched and trawled through all the tapes. John Longmire and the match committee have gone through them. What have you been able to glean that the Dockers' modus operandi, what is their main peg in their armament that you've got to look out for, do you feel?
Oh, certainly, Sam, it's their forward pressure. We know how, I guess, manic they are in their pressure up front, and led by guys like Mayne, I guess, and Walters and those sort of guys. So certainly the guys are going to be under pressure when they're coming out with the footy, and you've got to have a bit of composure.
All right, Jude and Dan, just hang tight there, because we're going to have a look at this. Oh, they are. They're ready for it. Big game. Look at this. Freo and the Sydney Swans. They get no bigger. Prelim final. Cherry right. The Fremantle Dockers. They have not got one issue. Johnson is a big in for them. Has had a wonderful season. You look all the way around and they have got big names playing very good football. Nate Fyfe, how the hell's he not an All-Australian? Has got plenty of talent. That's their team. Not quite as settled, the Sydney Swans. Tippett comes out, Mitchell comes out, they're both injured. So Gary Rowan comes back in, and the tiny little man, Benny McGlynn, also makes his way in. We're going to get the boys' thoughts in just a sec, but sportsbet.com.au refunded 150 grand with their money-back specials in the finals so far, and the great offers continue for both prelims. If the final margin is 18 points or less, Sportsbet will refund losing head-to-head bets up to $100. As we know, the Cats and the Hawks, many close battles in recent years, and the Dockers played the Swans in a draw earlier this year. So 3 goals in, fantastic insurance, your head-to-head bets this weekend. Conditions apply. Visit sportsbet.com.au for details, and always gamble responsibly. All right, Luke Ball, might start with you. What are you expecting?
Well, yeah, there's a lot been spoken about the things that I guess conspire against Sydney for this outing. But geez, with guys like that running out there this weekend, it's hard to write them off. And Freo in a position that I've never been in before, home prelim final, and I know that the town's been a buzz over there. So having the week off, they've been sitting waiting for it for 2 weeks, so they'll be a bit nervous. And we know that the Swans went all the way last year, so they'll be confident as well. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Freo on the home game.
Yeah, look, after watching the Dockers beat Geelong down at Kardinia Park the other week, that's going to be one of the hardest things in footy to do, a home final for the Cats that was, and the manner in which they dealt with that game. It's going to be hard to see them after a week's break, bit of extra sunshine over there in Perth. And with the injuries that Sydney have got now, I think it's going to be a pretty tough challenge, and the Dockers will do it in a crowd of one-sided fans.
And we should, absolutely. We should recognise Shane Mumford, Bill, plays his 100th game. Of course, a former Cat.
Oh, very good player.
Very good player for the Swannies.
No doubt, he'll lead from the front, but you just worry about the Swannies being injured and sore, and certainly Ryan O'Keefe, who limped off with about 10 seconds to go last week. I see he's been named, so maybe you want to ask the boys that.
Well, go on.
Well, I'll ask him, but they don't get it till after the show. How's Ryan O'Keefe?
Yeah, boys, he trained really well today, Peb. So, no, he'll be fine to line up. Obviously got that little bit of a knock in the last 10 seconds of the game. There was a few sore boys early on this week, but we've done all the recovery and, yeah, just can't wait for it now.
Very minor knock to Pebbles. He was certainly hamming it up at the end of that game there.
Now, Daniel, I'll leave you out of this one, Jude, because I don't think you're going to be a target for Ryan Crowley. You might be if you get on the scoreboard early, but he can go to you, Daniel, as he did when you drew a couple of weeks ago. You kicked 4 on him and a half, which I think is the biggest hiding he's had for the year. I rate Crowley so enormously highly, and as I said, 4 and a half you put into the sword. He's filthy about that. He's been saying through the week that he wants another crack at you. Do you think he's going to go to you, or will he go to Jared McVeigh, or will he go to Kieran Jack? And do you want him?
Look, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Look, I mean, I'd love the challenge to play him again. He's obviously an incredible tagger. He's had a great year. It'd be a huge challenge to go up against him, and I'd love the challenge. But I think the beauty of our midfield is we've got 2 or 3 guys he could probably go to. I think Kieran, Jared, or even Joey Kennedy when he's in form, which he is at the moment. So he could go to a number of us, and I think the positive is that if he does go to any of us, it helps us set up our structures how we like it. So I'm sure wherever he goes to, the boys will try and help that player out, and it's going to be a big challenge. But he's one of a few headaches we have to worry about on the weekend.
We get a winner from you, Willis?
Are they gone? Freo.
Samuel?
Well, it's such a subjective thing. The 2 public enemies, number 1 and 2, is Mr. Ballantyne and Mr. Crowley. But don't think the Swans will tumble into that. They're a clinical, austere, well-disciplined side, and that's why they have had the success they've had over the years. We have to tip a winner. We don't have to, well, mate, just because it's over there,
Don't apologise.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I think the Dockers will win. When Hawthorn or Geelong meet the Swans in the grand final, we'll say we were wrong.
Hey, I think the Swans will be in front at half-time, but I expect the Dockers to run over the top, which is not a nice way to say goodbye to our 2 special guests, but we appreciate you giving up some time, boys. The delay's always a little bit difficult, but you are 2 stars. And to you, Jude, well done on a celebrated career. That's what you got to live up to, Daniel, for the rest of your career, which has started so brilliantly as well. So good luck on the weekend. Thanks for joining us. Daniel and Jude Bolton.
Nice boys.
They are A-grade boys, and as I said, the most finals ever played by a South Melbourne / Sydney Swans player. That will be achieved by Jude Bolton on the weekend.
And if I may,
yes,
I saw the great Bobby Skilton, who is the first time he hasn't been to a finals game since the Swans, Sydney, have been in it. Saw him at Billy Ferg's place a couple of days ago. He's doing well. We wish him well. He's had a really rough trot. Triple Brownlow medalist for the Swans and a very keen supporter of Sydney. So all the best to you, Bobby, again.
Yeah, well done, Sammy. Good on you, Bobby Skilton. We are going to take a break. You voted for the best of the Brownlow Street Talk. That's coming up next on The Footy Show. Welcome back. Thanks to our very good sponsors, our great sponsors, Listener Barra Home Trim and Hardware, sportsbet.com.au. Very shortly we're going to have a bet on the Brownlow, courtesy of sportsbet.com.au. But before we do that, we asked you via our jump-in poll to vote for your favourite Brownlow Medal Street Talk, and the winner, pretty comprehensively in the gym, is 2005. That's the pig variety, Big John O'Brien and also Lingy. So I think we're going to go to that. So sit back and enjoy Street Talk 2005 Brownlow.
That 2005 Brownlow is over for another year. But strangely, it's just starting. Where are you going from here? Going to the after party?
Going home, actually, Sam.
I love about this man. Seriously, I love him, but
I love going home with him after a function like this.
Will it be a big night when you get home? Is he
much bigger than it would have been here? Yes.
Yeah, so when you get home, will it be just a Cuban dynamo, is he?
That's enough. All right. See you Thursday night, Sam.
Could be the best looking woman I've ever seen.
Oh,
you could be.
Thank you. I could be,
Yeah,
but maybe I'm not. Had a few beers, haven't you?
I haven't had any drinks at all. You had a drink?
You're doing amazing, Nick. Yeah, you're doing great, Nick.
You're looking good. How old are you?
Jesus. It's amazing. You run next. Jesus, good looking bloke. Who?
Benny Cousins.
Isn't he a good-looking bloke? But then again, Cameron, I suppose
I know I am as well.
You probably think most people are good-looking.
Come to the after party?
Yes, mate. Is that a date?
No, just you and me. My wife and your wife can go together. We'll go together.
Okay, that'll be good.
All right, that's good.
I'm just
you
wondering,
won't come.
why is Sam interviewing me when I sit next to him for the 2.5 hours of the show?
I know. He gets...
Conservatively, Jonathan, how many drinks would you have had today?
Oh, well, I probably had 15 pots at the Mad Monday there.
Let's be honest, the way he drinks only maybe 3 or 4.
Is everything going all right?
I like you, Sam.
I like you too, Brady.
You know I like you, don't you?
Well, I haven't been ever sure up until this minute that you just pressed your groin into me, but I do feel that it's like...
Sammy, I've loved you for a long time.
Do you know how Lingy got his nickname, the Pig?
No.
Because when he sweats it up, he looks like a big, fat pig.
It was a great night. Lenny brought me as a date, so I was rooting for him, and Dale nearly got up, so I was pretty excited.
Yeah, the voice, what, is that from shouting? When did the voice go?
No, I think I ate some bad food last night.
Yeah.
Got a bit of an allergic reaction, so...
You kept a vital interest in the count until when? Aren't these nights what it's all about?
Look, it's 5 minutes entertainment packed into 7 hours. It's fantastic.
Is this the first time, Chloe?
It is, but hopefully not the last.
Really? You'd come again to this?
Of course I would.
A very good-looking girl. Paul, how old is she?
After Gillen, I've actually got a Stevie T-shirt underneath this.
Yeah,
and underneath that skin, I've actually got a Caterpillar T-shirt.
Yeah.
And underneath that, I've got a Lexus T-shirt.
Brady.
And they drive good cars, Lexus. And after that, I've got an Emirates plane underneath there. And after that, I've got an Adidas, something Adidas underneath there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I've never met Eddie either. I've never met Eddie. He's never taught me anything.
Eddie who?
Eddie, I don't know. Eddie who?
Yeah, very nicely handled there, the Force. Them's were the days.
They're a bit changed, Jim.
That has
in
changed
8 years.
Slightly. I'll tell you what, it is, Willis, and
Oh.
these boys know it's a lot harder to get a beer in the room these days. It's a good half hour between drinks, as a rule, probably for that reason. Now, the Brownlow medal betting is out, courtesy of sportsbet.com.au. Let's just have a look at what's happened here. One of these men, Gary, has been smashed from $26 into $10. I speak of Sam Mitchell. We just heard Damien Barrett talk about it earlier. He has come from the clouds.
I think that's moved in the last 15 minutes since Damo's come on. He continues to shorten Sam Mitchell. $26 yesterday afternoon. Apparently, I don't know, but that's what he was.
17 into 10 in the last half hour, Gary. $1.72, $1.67. Gary Ablett just eased a touch. But there are your numbers. And what we're going to do, and this is thanks to sportsbet.com.au, is give Bill, Gary and Sam $500 each, because the rest of us up here are highly illegal for us to have anything to do with it, given official duties. So, Bill, you got $500 to bet on the Brownlow thanks to Sportsbet.
All right, I'm going to go with Joel Selwood.
And this is for a charity?
And this is for the... I don't know if he's got a charity. It's my old mate Tim McGrath, who's having a few problems at the minute. So this is towards the Tim McGrath charity, which I'm sure there is one. I think it's Mates Are the Best Defence. So $500. We'll keep it in Geelong with Joel Selwood.
Well, Willis, if you get up with Joel Selwood, and we should all say all the best to Tim McGrath, who's a ripper. $2,000 will go his way, so that'd be a great result. Sam, $500 for you and the charity.
Another great Geelong player who wore 17, Tim McGrath. Now, this might throw the telecast into...
The charity first, please.
It's me, my charity.
No.
You can't give it to yourself.
Oh, well, prostate, something.
Yeah, prostate cancer. Yep, righto.
I'll be keeping the money.
E.J. Whitten
Don't
Foundation.
you worry, I'll be keeping the money myself.
No, you won't.
Now, this might throw the telecast into disarray because you'll probably be in Uzbekistan with JZ.
Jay-Z.
Or 50 cents.
50 cents.
That's Dane Swan, who said he was travelling the globe, just seeing how the other half live. I
All
think
right.
Dane, that pictured man.
Prostate cancer research, thanks to Sportsbet, by the way. This is very generous. $7,000 they would end up with, so that would be a wonderful result. All right, for Sportsbet, Gaz, $500 for you.
Thanks to sportsbet.com.au, to the Reach Foundation, the great charity set up by Jimmy Steins, who are having a massive golf day at Huntydale on the 28th of October, which you should try and get along, get involved with that. What are you
doing?
To hear the golf ball.
What do you think is that fun?
500?
No. 250 on Sam Mitchell because of our man.
250.
Well, you have to. And I'm going 250 on Michael Barlow from Fremantle. How much is that?
Gary, if those, if Barlow comes in at 7.5 kegs, and if your man Sam Mitchell, it's 2.5. So
well, someone's got to get the votes from Fremantle, and I reckon Mickey Barlow.
Can you go each way?
Can you go each way? We'll have 125 each way if we can. Or who are you tipping, Lucas, please?
I'll tell you what,
a winner and a roughie.
Well, I'll stick with my two mates as well. I think what did you call him? The tattooed...
The pictured man. Yes.
Might go all right, I think. Or it might be Pendles, yeah. Unless they both take votes off each other.
Big Wilbur?
Yeah, Sam Mitchell for mine. I would put it all on him.
Sam Mitchell?
Yep.
What, before tonight, or did you pick that the whole
No, after that.
What about Ryan Griffin?
Yeah. He's happy sitting at home.
You forgot about him, didn't you?
No. Well, he didn't feature up there, and according to your mate, he's in only those people on the
See, that's logic, Bill. That is logic
Will's
from a
taken
learned
him literally
man.
and dropped off his team.
Yeah, he dropped off his team.
No hope.
They're sitting at home
Who do
going,
you like,
Well,
Jim?
he was going off the chart that the man gave.
Jim,
trying to win some money for a charity.
Jim.
Daniel Wells from our club will be our best bowler, but I think Scott Pendlebury will win the Brownlow medal. Now, as we go to a break, thank you very much to sportsbet.com.au, very generous, and hopefully we can help some of those great charities. Now, the Sunday Footy Show, Willis, has been in dominant form in season 2013. Jason Bhagwan of the V8 Supercar driver taken over as host and dominated.
Lordo.
The panel is extraordinary. Lordo. Nath. The chompers there on Shane. And I tell you right now, you need to cop that 11:30 at the Sunday Footy Show #1. And then Classified won every award the other night, and so they should, because it's just quite extraordinary. Gary won every award, breaking the biggest stories, led the charge on the Essendon supplement scandal, of course. Caro's there, she is. You've got Lordo, you've got Hutchie and Gary. And next week, special night of Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. So make sure, because of course the Brownlow's on Monday.
That's right.
So Tuesday at 9:30, you get your Fixer Classified, the #1 footy affairs show of the week.
Why don't you go up against the Brownlow? I reckon you might outrate it.
No, everyone watches the Brownlow.
The last 10 minutes.
We want to review it the next night. We're going to take a break. After the break, we're going to give you a sneak peek of the final story of the 1989 grand final between Geelong and Hawthorn. That's coming up after our show. We'll give you a little sneak look at it after the break.
Couldn't write a script about it. It's folklore.
The last of the seriously brutal games of football I'd seen.
You are tarred with that brush forever, ever.
3 metres away, he saw me.
I see him. I'm frightened.
Like a boxer in the last round, the bell's gone and Hawthorn are on the ropes. They're being punched severely, but can they hang on?
We're going to match everything today that you throw at us.
In every game there is going to be a crossroad, and when you get to that crossroad, you either step up or you step down.
You get emotional about it. The heartbreak was...
It has been the epic grand final that we all hope to end the 80s.
Don't shoot the little fat bloke in the middle.
Go, Gazza! Yes, Gazza! Well, hang on, I'm playing here. What am I doing? How do we stop this bloke?
We all, in unison, pay the price.
I just thought it was open warfare.
He's looked at me and I said, "Hey, Yatesy, I'm still here."
I'll tell you what. An absolute cracker. It follows the Footy Show tonight for our Melbourne viewers. Of course, if you're watching in Adelaide or Perth, it will follow the Sunday Footy Show, but it is must-watch television. An unbelievable grand final, 6 points the Hawks, but the Cats were coming home hard, Willis.
8 goals in the last quarter, unbelievable game. We'll have a look at some highlights here of Gary Ablett. 9 goals, Norm Smith medalist. He was sensational. Kick it forward, and he'll mark. Oh, no.
Oh!
No, that's me.
He's pulled his own highlight.
Look at this bang, straight through the middle. Yes! Finally found some good highlights of myself.
Can you believe that?
No, Gazza kicked 9.
You went the knuckle too early, didn't you?
I didn't, but Gary Hocking, he belted about 6 blokes.
And you just...
No, we did probably do that, Gaz. We're all pumped up. We're young side, big day. Hawthorn have been in 6 grand finals in a row. They're going for back-to-back. And we did get carried away early. We were 36 points down at three-quarter time.
It's an epic grand final. You don't want to miss it. That's
Injured blokes everywhere.
The final story straight after the footy show here for our Melbourne viewers. For Perth and Adelaide, it is after the Sunday footy show, but it is an absolute beauty. You don't want to miss it. Great stories told throughout that as well. Hey, Samuel, nice story also through the week about Polly Farmer being awarded retrospective waffle medals. I don't think premiership medallions were handed out until more recent times, until 1979 in actual fact. So Polly, and I know he is dear and close to your heart, 56, 58 and 59 for West Perth.
Well, I unashamedly say he was my idol. He was the spiritual, physical and mental strength of Australian football in his era. He was the best player I ever saw. I know that's a subjective thing to say. He was just a magician. And any award and any accolade you could give that man is richly deserved. Came over, Bob Davis got him over in 1962, had a knee injury. As soon as he got here, played under extreme adversity, played 99 games with the Cats, won the premiership in 63, played in 67, and was, as I say, I learnt any success I had in this game is due entirely to watching and playing with and against that man.
That is a great thing. So well said. And very well done by the waffle. And Jim, good news for your old man too, who played in the premiership in 64.
Old Smacker. You would not believe if you saw Smacker today that he could ever have played footy. Wizened up old bastard that he is. But he played in the 1964 WAFL Grand Final, played for Claremont against East Fremantle. They won by 3 points. And I am very proud of him, so he received his medal as well.
And then went on to take 10. Go on, say that.
He was a much better cricketer.
We'll say 10.
The last Australian to take all 10 wickets in a first-class game. All right, he was much better than me too. Someone already saying that.
I was just about to say it myself. So well done to all those people. We've got to get to a break, Samuel. And as we go to the break, Nissan Navara have been magnificent supporters of ours. Their tough love team are out doing their bit for local footy again this week.
We're at the Craigieburn Mighty Eagles Football Club. We've got the biggest challenge yet for the Nissan Navara Tough Love team. We're painting all the walls, we're putting in a sink, and we're also laying 140 square metres of carpet. Once again, I'd like to thank Home Timber and Hardware for supplying all the materials for this massive job today.
A number of years ago, we had a gym set up for our players, and unfortunately we lost that room, and the club's sort of gone through a bit of a tough time over the last 2 years as well, in the sense of being relegated from our Premier League. We now feel that our club sort of hit rock bottom, and we're starting to restructure and build for the future. Over the last sort of 2 years, we've been operating out of a very small sort of room. We can now set our gym back up. The guys have got a good place to work out during the pre-season and also during the season. The environment there now that's been created by yourselves today will be great. The Craigieburn Football Club are very grateful and will benefit from this into the future.
And listen to sportsbet.com.au and Home Timber and Hardware, our great friends. And very quickly, need to mention this, the 2013 E.J. Whitten Foundation Final Series Poker Tournament's coming up. Join Gary Ablett, Tony Hasham, a number of sporting celebrities in the fight against prostate cancer. We were talking about that earlier. The final poker event will be held on the 22nd of September at Crown Casino, the magnificent Crown Precinct. I think he's in the house, the great man. Put your hands together for Ted Whitten Jr. $50,000 in prizes to be won. Register now at crownpoker.com.au. Now, speaking of plugs, Will Minson, my legendary girlfriend, Domain Road.
Oh, yes. Yeah, beautiful coffee house
Lovely
in South
coffee.
Yarra.
Good
Come
coffee.
down for a coffee. I'll be working there on Saturday.
You
actually,
and
so-
Gia and Bob
Yeah,
Murphy?
Bob, the boys
You're
are down
working
there.
All right, while you're plugging, keep going.
Well, it's great that EJ's in the room because Luke Dalhouse will be ditching the dreads for charity. So he'll be having a haircut. He's going to get rid of the dreadlocks, raising money for the Whitten Foundation and for the Royal Children's Hospital. And I'm going to help it along by donating my appearance fee tonight to the cause.
Well done.
Very nicely done.
Magnificent.
I've got a trick.
Hang on. I mentioned the Jim Stones Golf Day, Huntingdale, 28th of October, kingreach.org.au, and also our great friend Sammy Soho at the Soho Workshop. On Sunday, if you're not doing anything, get down to Vizzy Park. The Old Dark Blues versus the Aziza Hawks, a young lady by the name of Aziza Halabi, who is suffering from cerebral palsy, raising money there for the Department of Developmental Medicine. For the
All
Royal
right, Gary.
Children's.
Before you wind us up tonight, just a reminder, 8:30 tomorrow night. It is on at Rod Laver Arena, 14,000. Make sure you tune in. We cannot wait.
Thursday night.
Thursday night next week.
On
yes.
like Donkey Kong.
Oh, I tell you what, Bill, it is going to be phenomenal. Bernard Fanning, Birds of Tokyo, UMI,
Luke
player
Ball.
review, including Luke Ball. So all of that
And well
is
done
coming
to
up next
Bill
Thursday.
and to Will and to Luke Ball. Thanks for coming on, boys. Sammy, we'll see you next Thursday. Don't go anywhere. The 1989 Grand Final replays. Hawthorn versus Geelong, the final story. See you next Thursday night, 8:30. Good night.
One-horn flying towards the people eater.